From the depths of the void, 7 glowing shapes appear. At first, they defy your direct gaze, as if these shadowy semblances can only be observed from a particular angle. But as steadily they draw closer, they solidify, and their fearsome shape becomes plain to see. They appear as 7 skeletal riders, each cloaked in a glowing robe and mounted upon a hellish supernatural steed. They wield lances wreathed with white flames, and their eyes are pinpoints of red fire. Yep, and there's a picture. Yeah. So, the Skeletal Cavalry has arrived. And we're turning the camera off again. We're back, and as I said, the Skeletal Cavalry has arrived.
Yeah, there's really nothing else we can call these things.
Well, yeah, for me it just looks like an army of Grim Reapers, but yeah.
Wouldn't they have sides instead of spears if they were the Grim Reaper squad?
Yeah, I know, but still, it's just their appearance. But yeah.
You recognize these creatures for you encountered them once before, when your Magna Chi quest took you to the fringes of the Neverness in the Dacian Plain. They are Shadow Reavers, wholly evil spirit entities. They serve Norse champions of darkness as scouts and messengers upon the non-corporeal planes of existence. The 7 riders keep their distance, yet they pass close enough to satisfy their curiosity before they turn and speed their way into the void. As you watch them disappear, a deep sense of unease grips you. You're relieved to have avoided a confrontation, yet you sense that their departure is but a temporary reprieve. They may yet return in greater numbers. Shortly after, you witness several objects that appear like comets encircling a cluster of distant stars. As you glide towards these stars, the comet breaks away from their orbit and comes soaring to meet you, racing with each other to reach you first. A collision looks imminent, but your mounting fears are soon forgotten when the surface of these shooting stars undergo a stunning transformation. Their leading surfaces takes on the semblance of human faces. You are shocked to the core when suddenly recognize the faces that appeared upon the surfaces of the 3 leading comets. The first is Lord Pydo, the Vaqueros warrior who accompanied you through the uncharted swarms of the Danak, and later sacrificed his life to protect yours in the infamous Darklord fortress of Torgar. The second is the face of Adamas, the Lord Constable of Garthan, who led the armies of Telestria and Palmyrian in the assault upon Torgar, and perished during the fearsome siege. And the third is the bearded face of Sepp Jarl, the brave Eruan partisan who guided you through the Hellswamp, and in doing so forfeited your life. There's a picture of this. So yeah. The face comments.
Whatever it was apparently enough to make warlords. Okay, that is sort of. But what the fuck? Okay, did we drink something we were not supposed to before we set out on this mission?
I know Adamas and Sebjal have appeared to us as comets with faces. Okay.
Your Kai senses detect that the souls of these 3 brave men are trapped upon this domain. Their spirits were captured by evil at the moment of their deaths, and Nor has since condemned them to an eternity in the service of Avave, the Tormentress. You see them mouthing words. They are pleading for you to release them from their torment, and your heart is torn by their silent, plaintive cries. Do you wish to use deliverance?
Yes.
Yes.
Out of a sense of duty and respect for the memories of these 3 brave men, you recite the secret words of the ceremony of Kai exorcism. As you intone the hallowed words, you feel an aura of peace and tranquility descend upon their tormented souls. The twisted and pained faces which adorn the surface of their fiery comets gradually soften and fade until with an overwhelming sense of release, you detect that they are no more. Through the power of your ceremony, their souls have been allowed to escape from this hellish domain and are gone to seek eternal peace upon the plane of light. The comets, now devoid of solar energy, are drawn back into the orbit of the distant star cluster. You too are drawn towards these glowing stars, and as you pass through them at an incredible speed, you glimpse a wondrous sight in the void beyond. A vast rainbow bridge of color arcs across the immeasurable darkness to a titanic plateau of fire. Your spirit soars when you detect that this is the Bridge of the Damned, the exit that you see from this astral domain. Yet as you approach the magnificent bridge, you detect a less welcoming presence. The shadowy riders are returning, and this time they're escorting a creature that sets your pulse racing with fear. From the depths of the void there speeds forth a colossal chariot, drawn by 4 supernatural lionesses, and driven by an astral being who bears the semblance of astonishingly beautiful women. Pale green beams of light issues from her eyes, and wisps of silvery mist trails from her ebony tresses. She wields a whip that sparkles with magical fire, and her magnificent carriage is escorted by 100 shadowy outriders, each armed with a lance of cold flame. And there's a picture. This is coming for you at full speed.
Oh dear.
Let's have a look.
She reminds me of some kind of villain I'm sure I've seen in the cartoon series once, but I can't remember which one.
Not really here either, but yeah. We
Yeah, but
have a fight.
that face, that hair, and that crown looks really familiar. I
Not
can't
really
remember where I've seen it before.
I have to say, the first impression I get of this one, I have no idea why this is, forgive me for that. But all I can think about is the death goddess Kali. But yeah, we have a fight on our hands, and
She reminds me a little of Carmen Sandiego, but she needs the cool hat.
yeah, that hat was awesome.
Your initial fears are compounded when your kind senses detect that this being is Avave, the Tormentress, the ruler of this vast domain. She brings Avave, whatever. She brings her chariot to a halt and signals to her escort with a contemptuous flick of an elegant wrist to rein in their steeds and wait for her return. Then she glides from her carriage upon a carved silvery mist and moves effortless towards you. As a gigantic face looms above, you see a sneer of disdain curl her cruel, voluptuous lips. Do you wish to use Shamath's potion?
Not really, we are not that wounded. But if it does something special...
It heals. Out of 5 points for everything, so I say we save it for a little bit.
Don't you remember what it also does?
What it also does, what do you mean?
Why would Shamath want a potion that heals?
Because she's scarred.
Oh, wait a minute, it destroys evil. It works healing for us because we're good, but it would work equally damaging for someone who's evil.
Ah, okay, we can use it like sort of a hand grenade, if you will.
The question, of course, is, will you?
Sure.
So,
Okay. Hurriedly you retrieve the potion from your pack, for you recall that Shamath had intended to use this preparation to enact her revenge upon Avave. With the memory of the demoness's word lingering prophetically in your ears, you pull out the stopper which seals the glass vial and hurl the golden fluid into the sneering face of the Tormentress. Avave's scream echoes to the furthest corners of her vast domain. With her hands clutched to her face, the wounded Tormentress soars like a meteor into the darkness above and disappears completely, leaving her carriage and her escort of outriders dazed and confused in her wake. So, yeah, she soars off and everyone's just standing there looking at each other just like, what happened? I don't know. Should we do something? We should do something.
no, you shouldn't. You risk getting your asses kicked.
The sound of Avave's terrible scream followed by a sudden rout shatters their nerve. Quickly they wheel their steeds about and with Avave's chariot in tow, they flee across the cosmic starscape in search of their immortal mistress. Probably while shaking their fist and going, we'll get you next time, Lord Wolf, just you wait and see. Run, boys, run, I think he's starting to get angry.
And your little crocodile creatures too.
The way is now clear for you to reach the bridge of the dam. Using your innate Magna discipline of divination, you will yourself towards the bridge and feel your body moving rapidly through the void towards its rainbow span. Also, you used all of the potion in order to...
Yeah, so I'm just deleting it.
Yep.
It is not a replicating potion.
You soar across the shimmering span of this colossal bridge towards a new and terrifying realm. Ahead you see a sprawling plateau burning with magical flame. At its center there's a vast crater of cinder and ash, and rising like a towering spike at the heart of its desolate bowl, you glimpse a titanic fortress. As you traverse the great bridge of the damned, you consult the Tome of Darkness, and it confirms your highest hopes and your deepest fears. Ahead lies the realm of Nor and his dread stronghold of Dascanon. The tome warns those who would voluntarily seek to enter Nor's fortress that they must possess 3 magical artifacts: the Nsapok amulet, the Cunei ring, and the scarab of the wingless dragon. The final page of the tome lists the names of Nor's closest minions, who dwell within Dascanon, and one who dwells without whose name is Zor, the guardians of the Plane of Despair, keeper of evil souls. The text of the final page states that there is no secret name to bind Nor, and, most chillingly, that there is no exit from his dread fortress. As you close with...
Did you get that, Warlock?
Working on it.
So give him a moment.
Giving Warlord a moment.
No. There's good. What was the name of that very powerful enemy that except for Nor?
Zor, the guardian of the Plane of Despair, keeper of evil souls. Yeah. As you close the tome, it suddenly ignites and is consumed by voracious tongues of blue flame. You drop the blazing book and it disappears below to be swallowed up by the fabric of the bridge. So yeah, delete that.
Okay.
None what we just wrote down, just the book.
Beyond the bridge of the damned, you enter the vast forest of fire that encircles the perimeter of Nor's realm. You sense that your platinum amulet is keeping you safe from the hellish heat of this region, and your Kai ability to spirit walk is propelling you on a swift and steady course towards the central crater. Upon reaching the lip of this crater, the forest of fire comes to an abrupt end, and as you get your first clear view of the desolation which surrounds the stronghold of Dascanon, cosmic winds blow across this barren plain, moaning like tortured souls. Now and then you hear cries of pain, bursts of mocking laughter, and haunting alien howls that chill your blood. Then you see swirling gossamer shapes that grow and multiply as your psychic senses become attuned to their presence. Millions of evil souls are swirling around the crater which encompasses Nor's stronghold, and as you watch the endless passage with a sense of awe and disbelief, you realize that this is the Plane of Despair, detailed upon the last page of the Tome of Darkness. You stare at the ceaseless torment of these evil souls, and you are deeply shocked by the visage of one spirit that rises out of the howling mass. You recognize the vengeful visage of Zada, the evil renegade sorcerer who was killed by your hand, and whose body was incarcerated in the ruins of Kazan Oud. As his tortured soul falls back into the howling mass, you begin to see others that you recognize immediately for their evil countenances etched indelibly upon your mind. Are you all still there?
Yes.
Yeah?
Okay. You just got silent all of a sudden, so it's just warning you're falling off. The spirits of Dark Lord Sknog, Håkon, and Krogenskull are trapped upon this plane. So too are those of Warlord Magnorn, many Xena druids, acolytes of Vashna, and Naziranim and their Liganim minions. But there is one ghostly figure that is more terrifying than any others, and when you see him appear at the back of the encircling ranks of tortured souls, he strikes a new chord of terror deep in your heart. Wielding whips of living flame in each of his 8 massive hands, the demonic spectre of Zor lashes the host of doomed souls without let or mercy. Relentlessly he pursues them around the Plane of Despair, reveling in his sport, allowing them neither rest nor respite from this unending chase. Few watch his vengeful eyes, and few still escape the searing kiss of his terrible whips of fire. Picture time!